Hello dear students. So in the last lecture we had seen multiplication of fractions by another fraction. Okay, fine, no problem. Now in this lecture we are going to discuss the further part of the same concept, that is multiplication of fractions by another fraction, but now here proper cases are there. Now what we did in the last case, see, if a by b into c by d is there. This is one fraction, this is another fraction. This is one fraction, this is another fraction. And while doing multiplication of two fractions, that is, it is equal to a by b into c by d. So it is equal to what we did in the last lecture, just multiplication of numerators a into c divided by multiplication of denominators, means b into d. So in simple words, we can bind this definition is equal to multiplication of numerators, multiplication of numerators upon multiplication of denominators, multiplication of denominators. Okay, fine, no problem. Multiplication of numerators in numerator and multiplication of denominators in denominator. So we did in that way. Now see, if some proper and improper fractions are there. Now what are the proper fractions and improper fractions? First we will understand that one. What is mean by proper fraction and what is mean by improper fraction? Suppose if I write here proper fraction, this 4 by 7 is the example of proper fraction, and improper fraction, suppose this is 7 by 4 is the example of improper fraction. Now from these two cases you can differentiate in between proper fraction and improper fraction. What can you understand from these two fractions? This is the example of proper fraction, this is the example of improper fraction. So to which fractions we can say it is a proper fraction, and to which fractions we can say it is an improper fraction? Yes? See, so the fraction, you can easily notice that here this numerator, this is denominator. Here numerator and denominator. What can you find the difference between two fractions? In proper fractions, numerator is always less than the denominator. And in improper fractions, numerator is always greater than the denominator. Numerator is always greater than the denominator. Fine, no problem. So proper fraction is that fraction in which the numerator is less than denominator. Improper fraction is that fraction in which numerator is greater than the denominator. Okay, fine, no problem. Now see here, one more type I have written here of the fractions, which is mixed fraction. To which fraction we can say it is a mixed fraction? Yes, see, mixed fractions. Suppose the same fraction I'll write here, is 7 by 4 is equal to, now as we know that we divide this 7 by 4, so 4 ones are 4, 3 remainder is there, so 3 by 4, 1 whole and 3 by 4, 1 whole and 3 by 4 is there, and this type of fraction is called as mixed fraction. This type of fraction, why it is mixed fraction? Because it is the combination of whole and proper fraction. Whole and proper fraction. How many whole are there? One whole is there. And what is the proper fraction? It is 3 by 4. To which fraction we say proper fraction? When the numerator is numerator is less than the denominator, at that time we can say it is a proper fraction. Okay, so 1 whole and 3 by 4, this is the example of mixed fraction. So are you clear with these three concepts? What is proper fraction, what is improper fraction, what are mixed fractions? So the proper fraction is proper, no divisible by the denominator, it is not divisible by denominator, that is called as proper. Okay, fine. So 4 by 7, where numerator is always less than the denominator, numerator is always less than the denominator, that is called as proper fraction. And improper fraction, that denominator is somewhat divisible by the denominator, numerator is divisible by the denominator. We will get some reminder, no problem, but it is divisible, somewhat divisible by, partially divisible by the denominator. And a numerator, we can say that numerator is always greater than the denominator, numerator is always greater than the denominator. Basic difference between that two. And mixed, we can write it the combination of whole and proper fraction. It is the combination of whole and proper fraction, whole and proper fraction. Okay, no problem. So that type of fraction is called as mixed fraction, no problem. Okay, now see multiplication of, here two proper fractions, here two improper fractions, and here one proper and another improper fraction is there. First we will consider the case number 1, which is multiplication of two proper fractions. 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 Okay, no problem. Now see here, multiplication of two proper fractions. Now suppose I will take here 3 by 5 is my one fraction, which is the proper number 1, proper fraction number 1, and second proper fraction is suppose this is suppose 4 by 7 is there, no problem. First proper fraction is 3 by 5 and the second proper fraction is 4 by 7. These two are proper fractions. Now see here, if we do the multiplication of two proper fractions, P1 into P2, then we will get here 3 by 5 into 4 by 7. So we can write in this way, this is equal to numerator of product of all numerators in numerator and product of all denominators in denominator. Product of numerator in numerator and product of denominator in denominator. So 3 into 4 divided by 5 into 7 is there. No problem. Now first check out, is there any common factor in between numerator and denominator? No, 5 and 7 are prime numbers. So prime numbers are not divisible by any other number excluding 1 and that number itself. 1 we will not consider, because if we multiply or divide by 1, then that doesn't matter. We will get the same number. Hence we will not consider the case of 1. Okay, fine. Now when 5 and 7 are there, that means prime numbers are there, they are not divisible. They are not further divisible by any other number. So it is equal to 3 4s are 12 divided by 5 7s are 35. Now this is P1 into P2. Okay, fine, no problem. P1 into P2 is equal to 12 upon 35. Now this we know how to do multiplication. What we want to know here? We want to know that, now tell me, if this 2 is there, and 6 is here. 2 and 6 are whole numbers. If we do this number 1, n1 is equal to 2 and number 2, n2 is equal to 6. So n1 into n2 is equal to 2 into 6, which is equal to 12. Okay, fine, no problem. Now tell me, this 12 is greater than 2 or not? Yes. 12 is greater than 6 or not? Yes. So multiplication of two whole numbers is always greater than the individual numbers. Multiplication of two whole numbers means we can conclude here n1 into n2 is always greater than n1 and n1 n2 is always greater than n2. Yes, we can conclude that product of two whole numbers is always greater than the individual whole number. Okay, fine, no problem. This is first case, this is second case. Now see here, what about this? When one fraction is the proper, another is the proper, when two proper fractions are there, then their multiplication, will it be greater than the individual numbers or less than the individual numbers? You can check this by dividing the whole numbers by 12 by 35 and 3 by 5 and 4 by 7. You can check it out, or just with the help of our way, 3 by 5 and 12 by 35 is there, correct? Now we need to find out which one is larger. So we do this way, multiply this and multiply this. So 35 3s are 105 and 12 5s are 60. Okay. I'll write in deep. 35 into 3 and this 12 into 5. 3 5s are 15, 3 3s are 9. Okay, fine. 9 plus 1, it's a 10, so 105, and 12 5s are, we know, it's a 60. Which one is larger? 105 is larger or 60 is larger? 105 is larger. Therefore, we can write here this 3 by 5 is greater than 12 by 35. Means here only we can replace this 3 by 5 is greater than 12 by 35. This 3 by 5 is greater than 12 by 35. Oh, so that will be our conclusion. When we will take multiplication of two proper numbers, when we will take multiplication of two proper fractions, so their product is always this is the product. So product is always less than the proper fractions, which we have taken here. Okay, so what is our conclusion? We can say here, now I'll rub this one, so that will be better for further understanding. Now see here, what is my conclusion? So my conclusion is that P1 into P2 is always less than P1, and P1 into P2 is always less than P2 when P1 and P2 are two proper fractions. This is first result. Okay, fine, we have seen here how that comes. Now we'll discuss the next case, multiplication of two improper fractions. No problem. Now let's take the first improper fraction in this way. First improper fraction, this is improper fraction number 1 is equal to, in improper fractions, your denominator should be greater than the, your numerator should be greater than the denominator. Numerator should be greater than the denominator. Okay, suppose 5 by 2 is my first fraction, improper fraction number 1, and second improper fraction IP2 is equal to, suppose here uh, 8 by 3 is there, no problem. 8 by 3 is there. Okay, now see, we are going to do the multiplication. So improper fraction number 1 into improper fraction number 2 is equal to, take the first improper fraction 5 by 2 into, take the second improper fraction 8 by 3, no problem. How can we do the multiplication? Take the multiplication of all numerators in numerator 5 into 8 divided by, take the multiplication of all denominators in denominator 2 into 3. Is there any common factor in between numerator and denominator? Yes, there is a common factor. 2 1s are 2, 2 4s are 8. So we can write it as 5 into 4 divided by 1 into 3, which is equal to 5 4s are 20 upon 3 1s are 3. 20 by 3. 20 by 3. So the answer is 20 upon 3. This is improper fraction number 1 into improper fraction number 2, which is equal to 20 by 3. Now check out, is the multiplication larger than or smaller than the improper fractions? We have to check it. Now the multiplication IP1 into IP2, 20 by 3. This is IP1 into IP2. Now first we'll take IP1, which is improper fraction number 1 is 5 by 2. 5 by 2. This is IP1. Now to check out which one is larger, we'll do the cross multiplication, this to this and this to this. 20 into 2. 20 into 2 and this 3 into 5. 3 into 5. 22s are 40. 3 5s are 15. So 40 is greater than 15. So therefore we can write here, this side is greater than this side. 20 by 3 is greater than 5 by 2. Okay, so we can replace here 20 by 3 is greater than 5 by 2. That means improper fraction 1 into improper fraction 2 is greater than improper fraction 1. That means the product of two improper fractions is always greater than, the product of two improper fractions is always greater than individual improper fractions. Let's check it for the second improper fraction also. What is my second improper fraction? 20 by 3 into, and 8 by 3 is there. Second improper fraction is 8 by 3. Okay, fine. Now, this is what? Improper fraction 1 into improper fraction 2. And this is what? Improper fraction 2. Now we'll do the same cross multiplication. 20 into 3. 20 into 3 and 3 into 8. 23s are 60. 3 8s are 24. Which one is larger? This one is larger. Therefore we can say that this one is larger. Therefore we can say that this one is larger. Means the product of two improper fractions is always greater than the individual improper fraction. Okay, fine, no problem. So that will be our conclusion, and we can write here. See, case number 2, improper fraction number 1 into improper fraction number 2 is always greater than improper fraction 1, and improper fraction 1 into improper fraction 2 is greater than improper fraction 2. Okay, fine, no problem. So that will be our second conclusion. The product of two improper fractions is always greater than, the product of two improper fractions is always greater than the individual improper fractions. Now what will be the case? First case was like that, the product of two proper fractions, and it is always less than the individual proper fractions. Second case was what? Product of two improper fractions, and product of two improper fractions is always greater than the individual improper fractions. Now what will be the case when we will take one proper and another improper? In that case, what will happen? See, we will take that. The third case, product of one proper and one improper fraction. Multiplication of proper and improper fraction. Multiplication of proper and improper fractions. Okay, fine. Let's take one proper and one improper fraction. Let proper fraction 1 is equal to suppose 2 by 3. Numerator is always less than denominator. And improper fraction, this is second, this is proper fraction number 1, and this is improper fraction. Let's take it 1, improper fraction number 1. Or we can just mention it as proper is 2 by 3 and improper is, suppose it is 5 by 2. Fine. Or we'll take 5 by 4. We'll take 7 by 5. That will be better. Fine. So proper fraction is 2 by 3 and improper fraction is 7 by 5. No problem. Now to make the calculation somewhat easier, okay, let it be. It's not difficult. Proper fraction is 2 by 3 and improper fraction is 7 by 5. Now we are going to establish relationship in between them. Proper into improper is equal to 2 by 3 into 7 by 5, and it is equal to 2 into 7 divided by 3 into 5, and it is equal to 7 2s are 14 divided by 3 5s are 15. Now let's check out 14 by 5. This is your what? 14 by 5. 14 by 5 is your proper into improper. Okay, and here proper. Okay, proper into improper, and here improper. No problem. So proper into improper is, this is proper into improper. Product of proper and improper fraction, it is 14 by 15. 14 by 15. And proper fraction is what? It is 2 by 3. We'll do the cross multiplication. Okay, fine, no problem. And this 14 3s are 14 into 3 and 15 into 2. Okay, so 14 3s are 42 and 15 2s are 30. Fine, no problem. Which one is larger, 42 or 30? 42 is larger. So can we say this one, this fraction is larger than this fraction? Yes. So can we say this fraction is larger than this fraction? Yes. So proper into improper, that means the product of one proper and improper fraction is always greater than the proper fraction. And here again we'll do the same case. 14 by 15 is there and improper fraction is 7 by 5. So we'll do the cross multiplication. 14 into 5 and this is 15 into 7. Okay, so now we'll do the multiplication. 5 4s are 20, 2 carry, 5 1s are 5 plus 2, 70, no problem. 7 5s are 35, 3 carried, 7 1s are 7 plus 3, 10. Okay, no problem. Which one is larger? 105 is larger. So can we say this 7 by 5 is larger than this 14 by 15? That means 14 by 15 is smaller than the 7 by 5. That means this side is less than this side. Okay, fine. And that is our conclusion. That is our next conclusion. The product of, when we take the product of one proper and one improper fraction, then their product is greater than the proper fraction. This is my third case. See, this is my third case. When the product of one proper and improper fraction is there, then it is always greater than proper fraction and it is always less than improper. Exactly opposite to the first and second. Exactly opposite to the first and second. When product of two proper fractions is always less than, proper, and product of two improper fractions is always greater than improper. But when proper and improper is there, then the product of proper and improper is always greater than the proper and less than the improper. Okay, fine, no problem. So this is the part under product of proper and improper fractions. I think you have understood very well. Okay, if you have not understood, then just go back, watch it once again. You can understand it very well. Okay, thank you.